No, it's really gotten crazy. It's gotten to the point, like, I've seen, I'm not going to name names, but I've seen, like, you know, a tweet from a fellow comic telling comics what jokes you shouldn't talk about this topic. It's like, who the fuck are you? It's like, there's already going to be enough people doing that. You're going to do, like, cannibalism now? I'm not saying the points that they're making don't need to be made. I'm not saying that their complaints are not just. It's the execution of it.
Yes.
You're going to go through intimidation and destroying people, like,
exactly,
people's careers, and people, you have to publicly apologize. It's like
they're bullying people.
Yes.
Hey, if you do anything wrong in your life, and I find out about it, I'm going to try to take everything away from you. And I don't care when I find out. Could be today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now. If I find out, you're fucking finished. Who's that? That's you. That's what the audience sounds like to me. That's why I don't be coming out doing comedy all the time, because y'all niggas is the worst motherfuckers I've ever tried to entertain in my fucking life.
The cool thing is just being different. I wanna be completely opposite than all these
contrarian
positive people. You know what? Nah. That shit was ass. Why? Why was it ass? You have people that just like to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And what happens when one person does it, another person for no reason all go, yeah, me too. Yeah, that shit was ass, man. I ain't like it either. Did you see it? What y'all talking about? You don't even know what they're talking about. But you just want to hop on the negative train.
Right.
Because that's what's cool.
So they're all about, make this more inclusive. It's like, no, let us in so we can take it over and then we'll push you down. Is the psychology of the kind of person that goes after that, someone that's after, like, power. I'm not saying the average woman is like that. My wife is a feminist and she's into, like, inclusive shit. But, like, people who are spearheading stuff.
Yes.
Like, those people are wired the same way, like, you know, I mean.
A dominator is.
Yes. A lot of that so-called progressives, extreme left, is think the way we think, say what we say, or we will fucking destroy.
You should polarize because everyone's different. Yeah, well, that's the thing about offense, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. You know, offense is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues. And sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you know, you can't legislate against stupidity. Otherwise, you'll be doing nothing.
But you guys got to remember, I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because it's funny. And everything's funny till it happens to you.
Most of the time, comedians, we are expected to be the most agile in terms of how we think and construct our thoughts and our what comes out of our mouth. We have been navigating these slalom gates forever.
Took us 400 years to figure out as a people that white people's weakness the whole time was kneeling during their national anthem. That's a brittle spirit. That's right, nigga. On the rock, it's regular. What are you doing, nigga? Stand up!
It's interesting. Comedy is, I do think, is supposed to push towards the lines of the medium. There are more people now who will let you know if they think you went over the line than ever before.
Don't I know it?
I mean, you have to feel the same way about comedy.
Yeah, but they keep moving the lines in for no reason.
Right.
In a time, and this is a serious thing, I can imagine a time when people say, well, that's offensive to suggest that a gay person moves their hands in a flourishing motion and you now need to apologize. I mean, there's a creepy PC thing out there that really bothers me.
I'm very rarely offended by anything I hear a comedian say because I don't
look,
take
if it's
it
funny,
seriously.
I'm never offended.
Right.
Okay, that's the thing. For example, like when I watched Chappelle's special, he had the joke about Macaulay Culkin.
Right.
I laughed.
right.
But when he said, I don't believe those kids.
Right.
And there was no joke, I was like, I'm a little offended by that because I believe the kids.
Right.
You know, if he had a joke about that, then I would laugh. So to me, laughs conquer everything.
Right. Almost like you'll talk to comics and they're afraid to say almost anything because society's just so on edge.
I don't find it that big a deal. You know what it is? It's all intent. Guys will say, you can't even tell a woman she looks nice. Yes, you can. But you can't go, whoa, nice rack.
Speak as the expert on funny people should just be left to trying to be funny.
What if they're not funny?
Then you made a mistake. But how many times has unfunny rape jokes lead to rape? Like,
I don't know how many jokes about rape there are.
There's a lot. But your world is not funny. Your world is next on the big story. My world is people trying to be funny.
Well, I mean, you think it's okay to try to make jokes about rape?
I'm diabetic. I make fun of that. I'm a victim. I might lose a toe.
Here's my question. How can you justify a bad joke, a joke that isn't funny? Oh, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
An attempt that isn't funny, doesn't get any laughs, and is about raping the first black woman to ever become the Secretary of State of the United States.
Don't throw that at me.
Well, why not?
The attempt is what I'm trying to fight for. The joke funny jokes and unfunny jokes are come out of the same birth. That you don't know if anything is going to be funny. You should attempt to be able to make anything funny.
Don't you think a joke about rape is doomed to be not funny?
It's possible, but I've heard them.
You've heard a funny rape joke?
I say a couple. Watch my HBO special. I'm pretty good at it.
Personally, I'm not afraid of other people's freedom of expression. I don't use it as a weapon. It just makes me feel better, and I'm sorry if I hurt anybody, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. Everything I'm supposed to say.
I think it's gone way too far. I mean, if there's gonna be political correctness, the person that needs to be corrected the most is the president. So therefore, I think when it comes to comedians, we ain't politicians. We just some joke tellers. So we talk about the crazy stuff that goes on. I don't care what the topic is. My job is a hard one. I got to find what's funny about these dark topics that people are afraid to talk about.
I swear to God, this might be the noblest of professions. Robin Williams had a bar that I loved. He said comedy is the only job you can have where you can use everything you know. And that's true. You can use more than you know. You can use what you think. Use it. Don't be afraid. Don't let these bitch-ass niggas button your lip. Say it anyway. Reason that I would stop doing comedy right now. And this reason is the real reason that's been percolating, and it really is the crowd, not you. I'm talking about the crowd on the big stage. It's too hard to entertain a country whose ears are so brittle. Motherfuckers are so sensitive, the whole country is turned into bitch-ass niggas. Everything you say upsets somebody. You know, I can remember when it all started. It was when I was doing Chappelle's Show. When I was doing Chappelle's Show, I used to do the show, and then on the weekends I do like concerts and shit like that. So I'm doing a concert, and there was a couple in the front row, beautiful couple. The wife was obviously Asian. You could see it in her face. The husband, this motherfucker was mysterious, to say the least. Couldn't quite pinpoint where he was from. Caramel-colored fella, very nice hair, but he could have been from anywhere. Bangladesh, Mexico. I can't guess with a nigga like this. All I knew for sure about this guy is that his wife was a bitch. I could see that in her face, too. No, he was laughing and having a good time, and she was scowling at me at a goddamn comedy show. I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized at some point that she was pregnant, and I was smoking on stage. I said, oh my God, that's probably why she's mad. So I started to put my cigarette out, but then she hit me with one of them fake non-smoker calls. So I just kept smoking. I thought to myself, bitch, that baby will be fine, relax. And I tried to break the tension. I just asked her. That's all I said. I go, hey, where are you guys from anyway? And I could tell that she was on to me. She goes, very condescendingly, she says, I'm from California. If you're asking my ethnicity, I am Chinese. And her husband was just cool about the shit. He was like, I'm Mexican, bro. I said, well, I'm sorry if I offended you by asking.
But you're a very beautiful couple. And miss, there's no question that you're going to give birth to the hardest working baby this world has ever seen.
That's not a bad joke.
She got very upset. She got up to leave immediately. But she didn't just leave. She had to take one last dig at me on the way out. I will never buy one of your fucking DVDs again, Dave Chappelle. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, Chinese people don't buy DVDs. And the crowd went crazy. We were all laughing, having a good time. I didn't even think anything of it. And then just 3 days later, this lady sends a fucking letter to my promoter telling him not to book me for shows anymore because I was, quote, racist, and I'm quoting her, insensitive to the nature of my interracial marriage. I was like, word, bitch, I was. If she had just done a little bit of research, she would know that I myself am in an interracial marriage. That's right. In fact, my wife is Asian too. Surprise, bitch, I'll see you on Thanksgiving. But my wife's not Chinese. She's Filipino. That's right. And our kids are Puerto Rican somehow, so there you go. But I don't give a fuck about interracial marriage. In fact, you know what? My mother is half white. A lot of people don't know that. Well, all right, you were a little too excited, but okay. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but it's true. You can't tell looking at me, but if I grew my hair out, you would think you was at a fucking Cat Williams concert. My shit is beautiful. But motherfuckers are just taking it too far. I don't know why or how everybody got this goddamn sensitive. You know who hates me the most? The transgender community.